that. But looking at our educational setup, especially as we've started off on that tangent, 1950, what, the 1930s, you were born in 1933. You got your education in Ghana, you continued abroad. Looking at our education since independence in 1957, and looking at what our education has become now, what would you say?
Well, you see, it's unfortunate, but our educational standards have been falling, and we don't need any special investigation to find this out. And I happen also to have had the good fortune to have been on the University Council at the University of Ghana in 1972 to 74, and had a chance to also interact with students. They didn't know who I was. I just always walked around incognito and all that. Now, our university standards are very low.
What is your take when you move below tertiary level? It's a build-up. Free SHS, for example. What do you make of it?
You see, let's start by, I'd like to quote what Jesus said in, I think, John 14:12. He said that all the wonders he performed, any of us, any girl, any boy, any man can do greater. That's Jesus talking. I'm quoting him. Now, why is it that we are not like him? The difference is found in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. So, if you look at it, human beings are the most valuable resources of any country. Well, I've done a lot for this country, but it's all because of education. So if for some reason we deny education, and this is deliberate because we can do it, if we deny the proper education to our own children, we are building a disaster of the future. Because you see, as Hosea 4:6 says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So if you do not give people enough knowledge, the quality knowledge and so forth, they are going to perish. And if they are perishing with the country.
Right, but you say, and this is deliberate. Who deliberately miseducates or denies the people of education?
I would say that the first post-colonial government we had in this country, under the leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, deliberately set out to make Ghana highly educated quickly. There was a program for the illiterates. In fact, UNESCO sent experts to come and see the rapid progress we were making in making our people literate. The late President Mugabe of Zimbabwe spent 2 years here teaching in one secondary school and one teacher training college in Takoradi and so forth. That's where he got married to his first wife, a Ghanaian. What he learned from Ghana, he took to Zimbabwe. Today, Zimbabwe is about 80% or more literate. Ghana is 70% functionally illiterate. And in my, I was talking once with somebody in the Exams Council, a high official, and 50% of our children that go through basic education, most of which are run by the government, and where all teachers are supposed to be trained and paid better than equivalent institutions in the private sector. Now, this high official was telling me that 50% of the people who graduate the basic education are illiterate. And I've come across many of them. They have the certificate, but they're illiterate. I had one who was working with me. He couldn't spell book, cook, school. He couldn't spell. So I asked him, how were you taught? Where was your school? He said, oh, my school was in Brong-Ahafo, and the teachers were using us on their farms. So the schools became labor camps for the teachers. Now, I asked, I have a relative who is an assistant headmaster of a junior secondary school. I asked him, well, why is it that the results are so poor? He said, well, they have instructions that nobody fails. Everybody is passed wholesale. Now,
at the senior secondary level?
No, at the basic education.
At the basic secondary level.
In fact, I have in my files a copy of a letter which came from one of the regional head of the Ghana Education Service, said that they can't fail any student. You see, so if you have a system where nobody fails, why should they even have exams? Why don't you let them stay at home?